Not yet, Ginger, but I will. I'm going to get, because I just don't want to be upstaged by these fine young ladies here from
in this neighborhood. But this is what I really want to show you. Look at this. Look inside this parking garage. This is what happened. Look at those are cars underwater.
One of the busiest times of year for travel. Take a look behind me. Certainly a lot of people here. There's a steady flow of traffic, but not anything crazy.
Little Temple City taking quite a hit. In fact, we're not even counting this stretch in terms of the numbers of poles, but your eyes can do the work. You look down the distance there, and I think we see at least 3, and they just all snapped. It really is quite a sight. This is Live Oak Avenue and roughly Golden West Avenue, the heart of Temple City, not all that far from Arcadia.
When 9-year-old Kyle LaGrasso hits the links, people stop to watch.
Nice shot.
Thank you.
From his grip to the swing to the follow through, everything is really always in sync, which is, at that age, it's really unbelievable.
And it's even more unbelievable when you learn Kyle's condition.
I only have one eye. This eye's good and that one I don't have.
Kyle shared his story with us at Temecula's Temecula Hills Golf Course.
When did you pick up a golf club for the first time?
When I was 2.
That's the same year Kyle was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, eye cancer. Doctors had to remove his left eye. But that didn't stop him from playing. It only changed his game a bit.
Then I'm going to aim right down the center. I'm really aiming 10 yards left or right.
For Kyle's parents, they learned how extremely difficult it was to find information on his condition.
And I remember telling my husband that if we were ever in a position where we could share Kyle's story and have it be a source of inspiration, I definitely wanted to do that.
So they created Through Kyle's Eyes, a foundation to help kids with retinoblastoma.
I don't want them to go through what I went through. It was very tough.
Kyle is now raising awareness, golfing with Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and he's raising money with the 2nd annual Through Kyle's Eyes golf tournament at Palma Valley Country Club September 12th.
He gets it. He shares our desire to touch others, and to, he has the heart for what we're doing.
And while Kyle has his sights set on one of the world's biggest tournaments when he's older,
The Masters, I wanted to win it in 2021.
along the way, he's hoping to help other kids find their own victory against cancer.
Just always fight. Don't ever give up, because one day it will be gone.
Who can resist the glitz and glamour of Hollywood? But in the late 1800s, the entertainment capital of the world offered nothing like this. It was a place where all you could see were fertile fields of orchards and farms, no movie stars. And it's during those early days that Galen Whitley Keith begins her legendary story.
My great-grandfather dedicated his life to Hollywood.
Keith's great-grandfather was Hobart Johnstone Whitley, a wealthy land developer who built towns across the country for the railroad. When he reached the West Coast in 1886, he stood on a hillside with his new wife at his side, dreaming about what he would build here. Keith says it was at that moment that her great-grandfather met a Chinese immigrant who, by chance, helped him name this spot Hollywood.
So he said to him, "What are you doing?" In a rather broken Chinese accent, the man said, "Up early, work hard, Hollywood." And he was hauling wood. And so my grandfather went, "Oh, that's it, that's what I'm going to name my town. Holly will represent my British ancestry and Wood my Scottish."
There have been different stories as to how Tinseltown got its name, but Keith says the undisputable truth is recorded right here in her great-grandmother's handwritten journal. This is one of the Whitleys' first homes. Do you recognize the dirt street in front of it? That's famous Hollywood Boulevard, which was part of Whitley's 300-acre development called Whitley Heights.
This is Hollywood Boulevard. Highland comes down right here. It's the Kodak Theater where the Academy Awards are filmed. Right here's the famous Grauman's Chinese that has the footprints.
In fact, Whitley built the lavish Hollywood Hotel in the very same spot where the Kodak Theater now sits. Its guests included directors like Cecil B. DeMille and Jesse Lasky, the father of full-length motion pictures. Keith says they stayed here while they built their impressive homes on the hill above. Her great-grandfather was able to double dip and create a fortune. Whitley's success story played out like an award-winning film, with a storyline that was thoughtfully laid out. He knew if he could get filmmakers to move west, he would become a financial star. On October 26, 1911, the first movie was filmed on his property. The first take was good, and David Horsley and his brothers stayed and formed Nestor Studios, which would eventually become Universal Studios. Word spread quickly, and soon more filmmakers started arriving in Whitley's Hollywood. Keith says there is so much more fascinating California history contained within these pictures, news articles, and documents. But like any good script, you have to give your audience a bang for their buck. And she's hoping to deliver that in her book, The Father of Hollywood.
He just wanted to make the world a better place to live. So I'm hoping that people follow in his footsteps and make the world, pass it on.
Henry Wynn taught music in this old cluster of buildings off Florin Road and Stockton Boulevard. He'd just given a piano lesson back in February when a 9-year-old girl told her parents she was molested. Sean Chow works next door. He's known Wynn for about 1.5 years.
I'm very surprised. I'm shocked, actually.
What kind of guy was he? I mean, what sort of interaction did you have with him?
He's a friendly guy. He seemed really nice, honest.
The 41-year-old Wynn taught music to more than 150 children over the past 5 years. Investigators have no evidence there are other victims, but they know there easily could be. Deputy Jason Ramos.
We know with crimes like this, sometimes victims are reluctant to come forward.
On the internet, there are pages and pages of sites that offer parents a guide to spotting a pedophile, even videos. But the truth is, it's next to impossible if they've never committed a crime, like the elementary school vice principal in Fairfield or the youth soccer coach in Elk Grove.
Unfortunately, there's no litmus test per se. You can't, there are not necessarily any signs that manifest themselves outwardly that would give parents warning signs.
No one answered the door at Sacramento Piano, and a sign in the window reads, "Lessons canceled today." Because he runs a private business, Wynn's criminal background might be hard to trace, and investigators refuse to talk about any criminal history.
We're doing a story on Mr. Wynn from next door.
Robert Chaw also works at the neighboring real estate company.
I only know him as Henry, that's all.
Right,
Yeah.
Did you see a lot of kids coming and going for piano lessons?
Yeah, but their parents are always here.